where I'm standing right now is actually a really special place, and I tell you more in a moment about that. So last week I read a quote somewhere, and the quote was something along the following lines. Imagine you have one person following you every step for around 1 week. Every day, every step, wherever you go, whatever you do, just following you for 1 week. And then ask yourself, will that person think that you are serious with what you do? So, and reading this quote made me realize a really uncomfortable truth. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. I changed my whole life. I moved from Germany, Berlin to Costa Rica, built up a whole new life here. I let go of everything I own. I let go of what I was doing. I changed the work I was doing. I let go of a business that I had. And I really wanted to embrace a new way of living and also really follow my true calling, what I thought is my new calling. So I wanted to be a musician, and I started doing that, and I started calling myself, well, I'm a musician, that's what I do now. Like, it changed my life, I'm here now. So new life, new profession, let's say it really professionally. And reading that quote made me realize I'm not living like the person I say I am. And this kind of hurtful truth, being honest to myself, like, well, you gotta change something. And that's why I made this video. And by the end of the video, you will know exactly what I plan to change, what I plan to commit to every week. I have something planned there, and how I'm gonna share and kind of like hold myself accountable to be on that new journey now and really get there to live more aligned in who I think I am, or who I say I am, right? Did you ever have that feeling that almost like you are someone, or you kind of becoming someone, but you're not exactly there yet? Like, let's say you wanted to change something about yourself. You have a project, a vision, a job, you're an artist, entrepreneur, whatever you do or you are, and you're like, or deep within you say, like, wow, actually, I that's who I am, but I don't really act like that all the time. I don't really do that every day. Like, it's more like in and out of your kind of like old self and your new self, or your actual dream vision self. Then you can probably relate to what I will share now with you. So make it very short. So I had my what I call old life back in Europe, and I was working in aspiring startup scene, entrepreneur, lots of business stuff, and chasing goals and chasing dreams, and kind of like following not a traditional path already, but at least like something like, the hustle path, the success path, the career path, the whatever was kind of glorified in that society, as like a viable path and career path. So then I transitioned and kind of like let that all go, and because I knew for me, and this is for many different fields, but for me in my personal case, it means moving from business back into the creative field, because I deep down I've always been creative, always been a musician, even very early as a child. And then I kind of put that on hold, put it on ice, on the side, and was like dabbling in and out, and went more into this career path, and also creative career, but more distractions by life, by business, by moving around. And I realized what I really want to do, and what I think I'm really here to do, is to bring more music into the world. And then I made the decision to shift my life, and of course lots of transitions, lots of changes. Moved to Costa Rica, let go of things, of work, of project, of business, of relationship, of belongings, of all kind of things. And that of course took a lot of work on myself, and here building up new relationship, new partner, new home, new work, lots of things changes, and then still, I try to embrace this new identity, like being here now, new life, like I'm a musician. That's why I kept telling everyone, because that's what I wanted to be, right? It's a good start, right? Because you kind of manifest that, have that vision in your mind. But at the same time, like right now, I figured out, well, I'm actually having some sort of like identity gap where I'm still like in between the two. I still sometimes, I'm like with one leg still in kind of like the old patterns, the old things, and then I try to go step into the new pattern, like being a musician, really embodying that in my case, right? But I'm like going in between, and that's why I said, well, you know, if I say I'm a musician now, and you might say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an artist, I'm a whatever you want to do, you say, like, it's not 100% true in that sense, right? That's what I wanted to. And so, just so you know where I am, since I moved here a couple of years ago, I do work with music, and I still have other things I do. There's this classic challenge of like, you know, gotta make money somehow, earn a living, you know, going in and out of like different things and freelance work, and then making music that doesn't make any money right now, like the classic artist story that everyone has in their mind, which is kind of true, but yeah, kind of also conditioned. But yeah, so I wrote a lot of songs. I did a great 1 year mentoring kind of like year to, yeah, so I learned write songs, I learned how to produce music, so I can now produce my own music. I did release several songs out there, they're live everywhere where you can listen to music. I have some EPs, and so I did that, quite a big step, and on the peak I had several thousand monthly listeners on the streaming platforms. 2 years ago I performed one of the biggest festivals here in Costa Rica, in front of, I don't know, 500 people, like a big stage and big event. So I had some like highlights about that, and kind of like coming close to doing what it actually means to be a musician, like professionally. And at the same time, you know, again, moving in and out of that, then like kind of prioritizing everything else than music. And, you know, there's so many things happening, you know, it's like personal life, relationship is like, you know, making money. We have a Thinker Here project, fixing things, just normal life stuff that constantly comes in, and then just like, boom, the day's over. And what did I do for music? Like nothing. So that's what I noticed a lot. And that's also brought me to a realization, hearing a quote and making this video, like, wow, there has to be something that needs to change. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you some future visions and excuses I had too, really importantly. So, but this is now as kind of like an introduction, so you kind of know, if you didn't know me before, which you most likely didn't, so you know where I am and what I'm dealing with here, like what's my current status and where I want to go to. And I really hope this is inspiring for you too. So yeah, let me continue with the next part, explaining a little bit more. So when I first read this quote, and then I thought, well, what can I change? Of course, you know, you have all these excuses coming up, right? First I thought, well, you know, I'm feeling quite isolated, to be honest, as an artist here on the Caribbean side in Costa Rica, not having a big city or a lot of cultural things in that sense of like when you're in Berlin or London. I lived in those two cities before. You have tons of artists and the environment, and you have like events and spaces and everything, and you know, tons of people you can connect with. And well, I thought, well, you know, maybe I don't live in the right place. Maybe that's the reason, you know. Although there are many talented musicians here, and I have many friends that are amazing musicians here too, I was like, well, maybe I don't live at the right place, you know. And then I thought, well, the actually big vision, I'm going to tell you about in a second, the big vision is why I'm standing here right now, why I said at the beginning, this is a very special place. It's because my dream of me and also my partner's dream is to really create a place here, right here, build a music recording studio in the jungle here, surrounded by nature, where we can invite artists and do like artist residencies and musicians and record music and compose music and write songs and do like creative retreats. That's the absolute vision, like really have people come here, artists come here and stay with us here, and yeah, be able to create here in this beautiful, powerful, amazing jungle and nature paradise. And that's the vision. So I thought, well, you know, maybe if I would have that, then I would be really a musician. You know, that would help me. Then have people come to me, like amazing people come here. I have the space. I have, you know, much better place to compose and play and record and all that. But then, you know, I had to be really honest with myself. Like, well, these are all just like things and excuses, and kind of like I have everything I need really to embody right now already. embody embody who I want to be, right? Like I have instruments and I have equipment and I have everything here, so there's no reason why I can't live like a musician every day and do what I really say who I am. So that's the realization I had. And so this video, I had this idea to make this video and then the series. So every week I'm gonna make another video and I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I show here publicly every week. I call it building in public, you know, not building the music studio now, but in the future that too, but like building myself up and becoming who I say I am, and do that every week in public with a video summary where I tell the following things. So every week I'm gonna make a video and tell you exactly what happened the previous week. So I'm gonna make the video at the weekend and tell you exactly what happened during the week, what did I commit to, what could I hold and what not. And there's one more hurtful truth I learned over the last couple of days. And this hurtful truth is that actually I noticed I wrote a bunch of own songs I'm quite proud of, though it was been such a long time I can't even play them. Like I can't, if you would give me a guitar right now and you would say, hey, you know, play some of your music, I'd be like, well, you know, you can listen, go on Spotify. And I don't even have much of that music on there. So it did really move me, because what I want, one of the main goals, for the next 30 days, I'm gonna be able to play 10 of my own songs. So in 30 days, I'm gonna learn 10 of my own songs, and I'm gonna learn to play them, because I wanna be anywhere in the world at any time, just someone giving me a guitar and I can play all my songs for them right there on the spot. Doesn't matter, in the morning, at night, evening, just like, you know, wake me up out of my sleep. I wanna be able to play 10 songs. So this is my one thing I commit to. Further, I commit to every day having rehearsal blocks. And I want to start that in the morning, because I know if I do that in the morning, first thing, nothing else can come in between. If I put on in the afternoon, you know, then tons of things happen and more things happen and more things happen, and then suddenly it's like night and I go to bed. So I want to commit to every day have several hours of clean rehearsal time to practice all these songs. And I have a bunch more tasks that I want to do that are on the side, you know, same things that musicians do, that artists do, that I also want to do, and I'm going to keep you updated about that as well. There are going to be some surprises, some really cool things I don't tell you yet. But so basically I have several things I commit to, and very clearly every week I'm going to make a video and tell you openly what happened and if I managed to succeed in that. So that concludes this video, and now I'm curious, are you building something too? And if so, what's the thing you say you are, but you're not fully embodied yet? You're not fully lived that yet? Let me know. I'm excited to hear from you. And I'll see you next week for sure, right here. Thanks for watching.